reaction of the Reds losing their first game of the Far East Tour. It was Liverpool 2, AC Milan 4. But there's been a lot of other news today, so I'll just go through everything that's happened involving transfers and a little bit on Diogo Jota, which I'll talk about at the end. Because there's basically been, whoa, good grief, that's a good start. There's basically been a load of transfer news, and also we found out that Diogo is going to be getting a permanent memorial, so I'll go on to that in a minute. But yeah, basically, the first half, the Reds were really good. The second half, so when they made the 9 changes, basically, they were shambolic. Let's have it right. They were not very, very good. So, yeah, we'll jump into it. So, yeah, basically, AC Milan went in front through Rafael. It was a really good finish, actually. It was sort of like this curler into the um, corner of the net. Defensively, I'm not sure whether Verge would be hugely thrilled, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it's a pre-season match, and this is what it's for. It's practice for the boys. So like no complaints really. Liverpool got back into it through like the. I can't even do it justice. This stunning goal from Dominic Szoboszlai. He was about 20 yards out. I won't even try to describe it. Just trying to see if you can see it on the highlights, because honestly, Dom's goal was absolutely bloody brilliant, absolutely sensational. I really enjoyed, like I said, to be honest, other than going 1-0 down, I really enjoyed the first half. Yeah, like I said, other than conceding the goal and being hit on the break a few times, which happened way more in the second half, Liverpool actually played really well the first half. I mean, they dominated the game pretty much from start to finish in the first half. I was really impressed with Florian Wirtz and Mo Salah because they combined a lot, basically. I've actually got some notes on the game, if you just bear with me 1 second. Really professional setup. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, so Florian Wirtz and Mo Salah together, quite a few times in that first half. I mean, the combination play was absolutely like incredible already. It was kind of like they've got a telepathic sort of understanding, having played like 0 times together. I mean, obviously they've been training together for a couple of weeks now, maybe 3 weeks. But they were honestly, Salah and Wirtz together were really, really impressive. Really enjoyed watching that. Other note that I made was Rio Ingamoa. It's getting to the point where I can understand if Arna wants to send him on loan for experience, but to be honest, it's now getting to the point with Ingamara, if I can say his name, where I actually don't think there's any point in sending him out loan. I think this lad is really, really special. I could see the benefit of him going on loan to play first team football, but honestly, I know there's only been a couple of pre-season matches, and obviously last year he played against Accrington. I don't think he needs a loan. I think this kid is ready now. I really do think he's actually ready to be playing for Liverpool. I'm not suggesting for a minute, obviously, that he should be in the front frame in front of Ekitike and Gakpo or anything stupid like that. But personally, from what I've seen, I would, and especially if obviously we're letting Nunes, Chiesa, and Luis Diaz go, I would put Rio Ingamoa on the bench. Honestly, I think he was that good. I mean, obviously it was a pre-season friendly, but like he's running at like international defenders in the Milan defence, and he was just making them look stupid. I mean, obviously he did that against Preston the other week, but I mean this is AC Milan, and he just gave their defence. He didn't give their defence a minute's peace at all. Not a minute's peace. He was so impressive for such a young lad. So yeah, all I'm going to say about that is I really, really hope that he's going to be given a chance in the first team squad this year. And personally, I would keep him at the club. But yeah, so yeah, first off, I mean, the the only trouble with the Reds this afternoon, well, obviously evening time over there, The only trouble with the Reds was the amount of chances that they missed in first half. I mean, off the top of my head, I think Verts had one, Harvey Elliott had one, Salah missed a couple, Sobbo had one possibly cleared off the line. I can't quite remember. I mean, Milan had a couple of chances as well, obviously, and they did score the 4 goals. But I mean, Liverpool could and should have been like free. They should have been home and hosed by the end of the first half. Really, I thought they were that much better than Milan. Just in terms of the team, which I haven't mentioned, so we started off with Alisson Becker, Lucas Stevenson, Virgil van Dijk, um, Gravenberch, who had to play in defence because Joe Gomez got sent home with another injury, which I'll get onto in a minute. Andy Robbo, Tyler Morton, Sobbo, Harvey Elliott, Ingemoa, Verts, and Salah. And basically, in the second half, they changed the whole team. I think Trainee only had to. For some stupid reason, Trainee only, I think, came on. I don't know if I missed this or not because I kept walking in and out of the living room because I was doing other stuff. I think Trainee only came on for Tyler Morton, but then Tyler Morton, I don't know if I looked at this wrong or misheard it, but I'm sure Tyler Morton ended up back on the pitch. It was, I don't know, maybe I've got that completely wrong, but it was, I don't know, it was really weird. Anyway, yeah, so we had a whole change side of the second half. So off the top of my head, Mamadashvili came on, Kirkes, Ibu, Simicas, who I will get onto in a minute, and those of you who watched the game, I'm sure will know what I'm going to reference. Uh, Ben Doak came on, Gakpo came on, Curtis Jones came on. I can't remember all the people, unfortunately, but basically there was like 9 changes in the second half. So first half, like I said, Reds were really good. Went in at 1-1. I personally thought they should have been in front. No problems whatsoever. The second half, again, it's pre-season friendly, so I'm not going to have a go at the lads too much, and the result doesn't really matter. But just taking the second half objectively, the performance was appalling, to be honest. Like I said, it doesn't matter if we lose a pre-season friendly. At the end of the day, I'd rather the lads get fit and work on the combination play and stuff, and just work on how to play together with all the new signings. That's the most important thing. But obviously, with Arne Slot being such a perfectionist, I do not think he will be remotely impressed, to be quite honest, with what was served up in this afternoon in the second half, because it was so poor. I mean, Milan scored 2 breakaway goals in about 3 or 4 minutes, something like that, maybe 5 minutes. Raphael got the second goal. In fact, no, I'm telling a lie. I think it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek that got the second goal, and then Raphael got the third, I think. But Rafa created the goal for Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. I mean, the defenders of both of them was, especially the third one, was absolutely appalling. It's probably something that Arna's quite grateful that's come up now, as opposed to when we get back into league action, the competitive fixture, because the amount of times Milan, and obviously they've got quite a fast forward line with people like Leao playing for him, the amount of time their forwards were like outpacing our defenders, and they just kept breaking on us and breaking on us. I mean, Milan must have had. I mean, I don't know how you measure this, but like in terms of fast breaks from the Liverpool defence, I mean, it must be like 20s and 30s. I mean, there were times they were literally just ghosting through the defence. So obviously, it was a change back for Ibu and Van Dijk. Didn't play. Van Dijk played one half. Ibu played the other. Which is sensible, obviously, because we cannot now afford for Canate and Van Dijk to get injured at all for at least 2 or 3 months, ideally. I mean, just as a side quest, the Joe Gomez injury is. I mean, Arna said before the match, I believe, that he should be fit and back in training, but I love Joe. We all do at the end of the day. He's been a magnificent servant for the football club, but like his body is just, it just keeps breaking him down. Hi Christopher, you're all right, mate. His body just keeps breaking down at the end of the day. And I mean, he's just come back. He's got injured. Last season, obviously, he came back after months out, and then he played 9 minutes against Plymouth, and then got injured again. He's just not reliable, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Hello, sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Delisha? Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. How are you? Um, yeah. Um, Thank you. Um, yeah. So the Gomez injury is. I mean, hopefully he's not out for too long. Oh, hi to Serbia. Leeds in England. The Gomez injury. It's hard to say my name as well, dude. Don't worry about it. The Gomez injury is a bit of a fiasco, to be honest. Because as it stands, we've got Wataru Endo, who can play centre back. Luke Stevenson can play centre back, and Ahmed Narlo can play centre back. But one of them is a central midfielder. One of them is Liverpool. It's a Liverpool live reaction to the AC Milan game this afternoon. So yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan. There you go. Yeah, so it's a bit of a disaster basically. But we desperately need to support. Red Star Belgrade. Yes, I watched them. I watched them in the '90s. Because I'm a very old man basically. Yeah, no, we used to watch Red Star Belgrade games in me and my father because it used to be on when it was the European Cup instead of the Champions League and the UEFA Cup. Sometimes we would watch. Yeah. Sometimes we'd Red Star would be on. We'd probably watch them 2 or 3 times, I think. So yeah, no, I do remember them. Just in terms of the second half, then. So I'm just looking at my notes here. So yeah, we went 3-1 down. Yeah, I remember. I do remember that. I do remember that. We went 3-1 down, and then we got it back to 3-2. Cody Gakpo scored. I remember, yes. I remember I watched it when I was 11 years old. It was yeah, very special moment. And then yeah, anyway, so Cozy Gakpo scores a second goal for Liverpool. And then you think to yourself, right, you've got 1 minute left, and think, right, we can get back in the game and get a draw. And try and see the own goal from Kostas Tsimikas if you can. And I say this as a Liverpool fan. I know I shouldn't say this. Yeah, yeah, he was. I've just literally just been saying that. He's very impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if he's angling for a move, to be honest, with that performance and putting himself in the shop window. I mean, obviously, AC Milan are a very great club, and it's an honest play for them. But I just wonder whether he might be looking to move on, basically. But yeah, so Costas basically. Sorry, I'll come back to the comments in a minute. Costas basically. I'm trying to think how to describe it because it was one of the most ludicrous things I have ever seen in my entire life. Basically, long story short, Mamadashvili, who came on for Allison, rolls the ball out to Costas. And for some inexplicable reason, no need to Costas Simicas, he basically just turned around and booted it into the back of his own net. And I'm kind of watching it and I'm like, when you have something where you can't believe what you've just seen, it took me about 2 or 3 minutes to actually realise that I'd actually just witnessed what I saw. I've never seen an own goal like it. It was absolutely. I mean, I actually laughed. It was that bad. It was absolutely. I mean, it's a good job it's a pre-season match, really, but it was absolutely beyond atrocious. I mean, I've never seen anything like it before. It was it, it was bizarre. I mean, I don't even have the words, to be quite honest. So yeah, basically the Reds lose. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Delise. Is Liverpool better without? Well, obviously, I would love Diogo Jota to be still here. I was a massive fan of Diogo Jota. I think he was one of our best forwards. I know he was injured quite a bit at the time, but I always loved watching him. I thought he was a lovely man. He was such a hard worker. Was a team player. He tracked back. He tackled. He put his body on the line. He scored great goals. He assisted. He got us as Liverpool fans. He knew what it meant to play for the football club. He was, yeah, he was a lovely man, and I cried a lot when he died. And I miss him very, very much. So yes, I would love to have Diogo Jota back, and I would all the transfers that we've made this summer, I would send them all back if someone literally said to me, "You can have Diogo Jota back and basically all your transfers." And you lose Mo Salah and whatever else. If I could have Diogo Jota back, I would. It would be wonderful, but sadly he's no longer with us. So yes, so that was the story of the game. So speaking of Diogo Jota, actually, thank you for reminding me. So before the match, we had a announcement from Liverpool Football Club where basically they've confirmed that there is going to be a permanent memorial made for Diogo Jota. So I'm sure you guys would have seen around the world. Hi, your boy Dem, MD. Hi, mate. You're all right. Yeah, I'm sure you would have seen the news about the Diogo Jota. So basically, I'm sure you've seen the pictures. So obviously, when he passed away, people put like flowers, signed shirts, etc., etc. Down. In fact, I've got my. I can't show you now, but I've actually done tributes to Diogo Jota. Just behind me, there's like a picture that I made and stuff. The thing that fell down at the start of the video was what I made for Diogo after he died. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, it usually lives up there, but it fell down at the start of the video. So, yeah. But yeah, obviously the temporary memorial, Liverpool are going to start moving all of that and basically spreading it around the club. So they've said that a lot of the tribute is going to be taken to the AXA, which is obviously Liverpool's training centre, different bases in and around the city, the offices of Liverpool, and also in and around the grounds. And then they'll presumably they'll frame them and put things in museums and this, that, and the other. But what they've actually said is they're employing a company. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do this, but they're employing a company who are going to take items from the memorial that all the fans left for Jota, and they're going to make like a memorial out of it, if you see what I mean. So I don't know if it's going to be a statue, so whether they're going to mix it in with concrete. Look, I don't have an engineering degree. I have absolutely no idea how or what they're going to do with it, but it might not be a statue. Perhaps it might be like some sort of plaque made from everything that all the fans have passed on. I don't exactly know, to be honest, but yeah, there's going to be a permanent memorial at Anfield, with permission from obviously Jota's family, so his wife and his parents and so on and so forth. Whether there's going to be one for Andre, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you come to Liverpool, basically there's two Jota memorials now. So there's one at the Halfway House Boozer, which is about half a mile down the road from Anfield. And there's another one. I forget the road. If anyone's from Liverpool watching the stream, if you could just let us know where the Jota Memorial is that's near Anfield. So not the Halfway House pub, but the other one, because I've forgot the street name. But yeah, there's two like murals now for Jota. I'm actually going to go and see those next week because I'm off to see the Athletic Bilbao game. But yeah, it's really wonderful that they're going to do that for Diogo. Like I said, he meant the absolute world to me, and I was devastated when he died, truly and utterly heartbroken. And again, obviously, I know it's been a few weeks, and I'm sure they're not watching my live stream, but just again, all my love and support to Diogo's wife, his children, his parents, and just sorry for your loss. Obviously, that's all I can say, really. So yeah, we had the match. We had the news about Diogo. And obviously the injury to Joe Gomez. There's two or three bits of transfer news that basically it's been a really busy day for Liverpool. So Nunes and Luis Diaz both got left out of the squad entirely. So obviously Chiesa wasn't taken because basically I would imagine Chiesa will be gone. I wouldn't be surprised at all by this time next week. But Diaz and Nunes were both taken to the pre-season tour. Voice is not clear. Sorry, dude, can't do anything about that. I've got mics on and everything, so I'll try and speak a bit louder if I can do. Yeah, so Nunes and Diaz were taken on the tour, but basically they weren't played in the match. Now, Fabrizio Romano was reported, I think he was tweeting during the match, that Bayern Munich are expected to come in with a larger offer for Lucho. So that's good. I mean, apparently it might be happening today. So you never know. By this point tomorrow, Luis Diaz might be gone. He then reported that Darwin Nunes is expected to leave. Now, obviously, Napoli were looking at him, but they've just signed some other. I forget the gentleman's name, but some other bloke. Um, so, but he says apparently the interest from Saudi Arabia is still there. I mean, I'm quite surprised there's no. I mean, I know what people think of Nunes and stuff, and obviously he's fallen short at Liverpool. I mean, I do like the guy, and he does try his hardest for the club, but obviously it's just not worked out for him, unfortunately. So, but I am a bit surprised that no one's coming for him, to be honest. I mean, obviously, selling to a Premier League rival would be difficult. I mean, I can't imagine Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, for obvious reasons, he can't go to Man U. Definitely not Man City. But I'm surprised that, like, um, I mean, I'm trying to think of a club. I'm just surprised that a Premier League club hasn't come in for him. I'm very, very surprised that there's not more European interest. I mean, it was being rumoured that Atletico Madrid were in for him, and that seems to have died down as well. Yeah, I'm just very surprised that there's not more people in for Nunes, really. Yeah, but yeah, apparently there's now Saudi Arabian interest in him as well. So I can see a situation where Nunes, Chiesa, and Luis Diaz are gone by the time of the start of the season, because obviously now we've got Ekatike, we've got Verts who can play as part of a free, we've still got Mo. I think Rio Ingamora is going to end up taking Chiesa's place. Obviously, Jaden Dans is still there. We've still got Cody Gakpo. So even if we were to sell all these people, and obviously Ekatike's just come in, um, so you're talking that's about 6 or 7 strikers in it. So I mean, if they end up keeping Harvey Elliott, because Harvey actually played today. Harvey was all right actually. He was quite impressive, but he might be playing for a move. So you never know if Harvey Elliott does get another chance. Perhaps he's the backup to backup to Mo for like League Cup games and stuff like that. I mean, whether Harvey will be pleased with that, I don't know. But you've also got the interesting thing of Jeremy Frimpong. Now, Frimpong has, I didn't watch loads by Leverkusen, but I've watched quite a few of their matches the last couple of years. And Frimpong has played as part of a free up front on the odd occasion, and he does score goals basically. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Frimpong basically ends up covering from out the African nations a little bit. So that is another option. So you're talking that 7 or 8 options up front. Um, so you can afford to let Nunes and Diaz go. But as I say, there's been no other movement, just what Romano's reported. Um, he's also said that Alexander Isak, because I was looking at Romano's page this morning, that Alexander Isak is definitely not going to Al Hilal, so no interest there. And there were random rumours about Chelsea and Man United, but he's basically said the only ones who are in for him are Liverpool. So again, obviously Eddie Howe was interviewed this morning saying that we want to keep Alexander Isak, but what's going to happen with that, I don't know. I mean, I've said this on the live stream the other day when I was doing my channel. I still don't think that we're going to get Alexander Isak, and I really hope I'm right. Look, I would love to have the piss taken out of me, and loads of people abuse me online and say, "Haha, you idiot! We've got Alexander Isak. What would you know?" I would be more than delighted to look like an idiot. I've just got a feeling that I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know why. I just think it's a very, very difficult transfer. But where that leaves Isak with Newcastle, so if he doesn't get his move before September, I mean, in terms of his relationship with the manager of the squad, I mean, not that it's any of my business, but I don't know what they're going to do. And yeah, obviously, the only other bit of news from today So we talked about the match, how good the players were, Rio and Gamoa. The Like I said, if you missed the start of it, please, 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 I urge you to try and watch Kostas Tsimikas' own goal. Honestly, I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like it in my. I don't even know how on I can't even fathom how he even managed to do it. It was the most honestly, it was the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in a football match, to be honest. But yeah, if you can have a look at Kostas's own goal, try and have a look because I mean it. I mean, I know I shouldn't say this as a Liverpool fan, but I nearly laughed. It was that hilarious, honestly. Yeah. So the only other thing to talk about, really, after all that, so we talked about the Diogo Jota memorial as well. Um, I'm hoping I can go and lay some flowers and stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. The only other thing of note today is what happened with. Oh, hi Johnny. We'll definitely get Isa, mate. I like I said, I would be delighted if you are right. Absolutely delighted. I'm more than happy to look like the biggest idiot in the history of the world. Um, I- I'm not the most positive person at the best of times, so I always. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. When yeah, I hope so, mate. I hope so. So when you remember when we won the title, obviously this year, when we were 5-1 up against Tottenham, and I've got all the lads around me going mental, celebrating, throwing pints over each other. Um, I'm sat there in the 83rd minute screaming at the TV to clear the ball. And all the lads were like, Leon were like 5-1 up, and I'm just like, clear the ball, I don't want to lose the lead, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I'm not the most positive person in the world, but more hope than belief, but I hope and pray we do, brother. So do I, mate. So do I. I really, really hope we get him because, mate, honestly, the thought of having. Um, do you have a. Do I have a job? Yes, I do. Thanks. Um, Thank you, Connor. Yes, I do have a job working in Leeds. So yeah, cool. What team do you support, bro? Liverpool, mate. It's a Liverpool podcast. Hang on. There you go. Yeah, Liverpool Football Club, champions of England. Um, Sorry, I completely forgot the hell I was talking about now. To be honest. Yeah, so obviously we've got the Jota Memorial thing, which is absolutely fantastic news, and it's really, really good. Oh, thank you, mate. I do have my moments. I try to have a bit of humour in these sort of things, be a bit sarky and stuff. So yeah, that's just me basically. You guys have defo broken FFP rules this year. Not really, because we didn't spend anything last year, and we've also we're well in PSR rules, and with the transfers that we're going to make, we'll be like underneath PSR by a considerable distance, and also we've got the Champions League revenue, and we've got the revenue from the fact that we're league champions, so we're nowhere near that actually. Yeah, so just quickly, the Joe Gomez news. Now, like I said, I don't want to keep going on about this. I'm not having a go at Joe. Look, he can't help being injured at the end of the day, but um, I am a bit concerned that we need to be thinking about getting a centre back, and by a centre back, I actually mean two, because at the moment, like I said during the match report, we've got Ibu Kanate and Virgil van Dijk. That's fine, not a problem. Behind him, you've got Lucas Stevenson, who's played, I don't know, a match of football. Ahmed Nallo, who got sent off for booting some fella in his carrots and onions within 4 minutes of coming onto the field, which was not a very good start. And I'm sure the gentleman who got booted in the crown jewels need to replace Roberts. Oh, Robertson, yeah. Now, mate, I'm See, I love Andy Robertson. He's actually, I know this is a bit random, but he's probably my favourite player. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. His performances the last year to 18 months have been not great, and they've been quite poor. We've got Milos Kerkez, and it looks like we're keeping Kostas Tsimikas. Um, Although after this afternoon's fiasco, yeah, no, agreed. Um, well, the thing is, though, he played against Preston as part of a. He was kind of part of a back three, so he was actually playing central defence. Now, I was just speaking about central defence. Another option you've got is Andy can fill in at centre back. So personally, as a squad player, I would keep him. I wouldn't be booting him out of the football club at all. And don't get me wrong, I don't really want Andy Robertson in a back three, because I mean he'd get absolutely like roasted by people like Saka and like Ramsey and God knows who else. But if you're talking, if you just want someone to shore up the back three for like the last, or back four for a final 5 minutes, if you like 2-0 up, I trust Robbo to play some minutes. And also the good thing is you can play Robbo in League Cup matches and dead Champions League rubbers. It just depends whether he'd be happy doing that. Knowing Andy Robert, I just don't think he's going to be really satisfied with doing that at the end of the day. But I'd love to keep him. The reason I'd like to keep him is this: he is one of our best players that I have personally seen live play for Liverpool, and the effort and the man's commitment that he's had for this football club is absolutely outstanding. And I want to give him a proper send off. I'm not remotely interested in getting a transfer fee for him. Couldn't care less if he goes on a free. I want to say goodbye to the bloke because he's been an outstanding servant for Liverpool Football Club, and genuinely, I know this is a roundabout way of answering the question. I'm genuinely really going to miss Robbo because he has been an outstanding servant for Liverpool Football Club. But yeah, no, to your point, mate. Milos Kerkez, I mean, it's obvious he's going to be, he's definitely going to be the first choice left back, I would imagine, for the next 6 or 7 years. So whether Costas stays, I mean, he's not helped himself with, like, I'll keep repeating this for anyone who's just joined the channel. Um, if you have not seen Kostas Tsimikas' own goal, please go and watch it, because even as a Liverpool fan, I don't think I have laughed so much at an incident on a football field in all my life. I don't even know how it's scientifically possible to do what Kostas Tsimikas did on that football pitch today. I honestly, I actually laughed. It was that bad. So, yeah, let me just look at the comments again. Nah, but Robson is key for the future. Sets the standard. Mate, we can't sell him for Costas. Yeah. No, agree. Should go in for Davies from Bayern or Mendy from PSG. Yeah, it'd be cool. But I mean, are they gonna? I mean, you could end up with about, I don't know, about 7 or 8 fullbacks on the right and left, all battling in a rotation, and all of them are internationals. So are they going to be happy with that? I mean, I was just going to come on to this, to be honest. My top priority, and this is actually over Isak, because I'm getting very, very worried about this, is the central defence. So if they are on with Mark Gay, that needs to be done next week. And it's not me being an arrogant Liverpool fan. I'm very, very grateful the club has spent money. And I'm not a transfer person. I never have been. You just get behind the lads, and if a transfer comes in, that's great. But we really do desperately now need a centre back, because God forbid if Verge and Canate go down in the first couple of months, we're going to end up in the situation that we had in 2000 to 2001 season, where we had Jordan Henderson and Fabinho playing at the back four. Now, our rough equivalent of that happening this year, if it did happen, is going to be Ryan Gravenberch and Wataru Endo or Dominic Szoboszlai playing in central defence. I do not want to see that ever. So, I mean, Gravenberch actually had to play in central defence today because Endo was ill. I think he's back for the Yokohama game on the Wednesday. I'm doing a live reaction for that as well, if anyone is watching. I think it's an 11:30 kickoff on Wednesday, so I'll be doing a live reaction about 2 o'clock, something on those lines. But yeah, we can't have a situation where we've got Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Konate being backed up by Ryan Gravenberch, Endo, and then Lucas Stevenson and Ahmed Narlo. I mean, if we've got to, then fine. And if Joe Gomez, by some miracle, if the Achilles injury that he's got isn't that dramatic, and he can play 30 games a season, then yeah. But in my opinion, I think we actually need 2 centre backs. Yeah, no, I agree, Johnny. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. The Mark Gay thing needs to be done like as quickly as possible on the evidence of today. Very, 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 very quickly. The other thing as well, Gay actually hasn't travelled, as far as I'm aware, for Palace's. I don't know where Palace have gone. I think they've gone on a tour or something. But allegedly, Mark Gay has been left out of the squad. Now, hopefully, good news wise, I mean, you would have to imagine that surely that's because of a transfer, and presumably a transfer to us. The other thing I would be doing it so if Liverpool are in slight danger of overspending, which, as I say, they're not. We're absolutely fine from what I'm given to understand, according to a lot of people from the Anfield Rap and people like that that I've watched. Um, if we can't, hi Trey, yes, of course I remember you. Yeah, thank you very much, mate, for all the support. It was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, no, of course I remember you, mate. Of course I remember you. Hope you're all right, dude. So yeah, I was just saying, if we buy Mark Gay and we can't literally cannot be paying for anyone else, I think we either need to look into a loan of a centre back who's not being used at a Premier League club, or we go for someone in the free agent market, just literally to have another body. So at that point, you'd have Mark Gay, Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Konate, Joe Gomez, and then another person. Plus, then you'd have Endo as a the like break glass option, and that's about six centre backs, and that's fine if you've got the two other lads. But I mean, I can't even think of anyone, to be completely honest. I mean, I know there was talks of Max Kilman last year, but I mean, even with West Ham doing so badly, you're not going to be getting him for any less than 40 million quid. Um, it just depends whether Liverpool are going to prioritise Isaac and or Mark Gay and someone else. But for me, I mean, the only hole that Liverpool are missing now, I think we've got more than enough in midfield. We've got more than enough goalkeepers. We've got more than enough fullbacks for this season. And I think even if we sold Chiesa and Diaz, to be honest, if you include Rio Ingamoa and Jaden Dans, we've got like 8 or 9 players even if they leave that can play up front. So I think that's fine, but glaringly at centre back, honestly I cannot stress this enough. That needs to be sorted as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we are going to have major issues if Virgil or Ibu gets injured. And obviously, don't forget, Ibu's injury record has been slightly better, but it's still not exactly brilliant himself. Also, as well, he hasn't signed his new contract, which look, I'm sure Ibu Konate is not going to be pulling out of challenges. I'm sure he's very professional. He's not going to do that even if he does leave. But you'd have to think if he's got a big move to Madrid, maybe, and I really hope that isn't the case. Um, I'm not suggesting he would be pulling out of tackles, certainly not at the start of the season, but I mean, April next year, if it's likely he was going to Madrid, would you be throwing yourself into 50-50s? I mean, I'd like to think I would, but with sensible head on, I don't know if I absolutely would. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's about it, folks. So I'll just read the comment. Yeah, no, I agree, Johnny, absolutely. Forget about the Ekatike fee altogether. I bet that's just insurance money. So I've actually thought about that, Johnny, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to say this, obviously, but obviously I know Jota's salary is now going to his family, and quite rightly so as well. It's a very classy move by the club. But obviously, in terms of, you don't want to say it, but bonuses and this, that, and the other. Obviously, we now don't have those payments to make anymore. Like you said, I would imagine the insurance and things like that will free up basically a bit more money as well. But as I said, about halfway through the stream, I would give every one of those players that we have signed back to their clubs and not have any signings if I could bring Diogo Jota back. And I would happily finish in 11th place for the rest of my life as a Liverpool fan if I could bring that man back. Yeah, like I said, I've said this a few times on the stream, but I'm just going to keep saying it. I miss him so much, and it was horrendous. It was horrendous. Yeah, no, I thought, like I said a bit earlier in the stream, that the thing that I loved about Jota was his commitment. And the way that he got us as fans. I mean, I remember his hilarious reaction to to Leicester City when he scored that penalty in the League Cup match, the winning penalty, and then basically, obviously, I can't use this word on the stream, but he told them to go away. very loudly at their away end and did that to them. And honestly, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But just in terms of his commitment, I mean, he actually injured himself going in for tackles for this football club. I mean, that time that he did his back in the World Cup year, I mean, he didn't need to make that tackle, but because he loved the club so much, he put his body on the line for us. I mean, even the unfortunate decision to travel back because he was desperately trying to get back for pre-season and he'd been advised to go to use the method of transport that he did, which I really, 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 I wish he'd never spoken to that doctor. I'm not having to go to the doctor, obviously, but yeah, it's rubbish. But yeah, we have to move on, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, folks. Right. So if you are a subscriber, and even if you're not a subscriber, just to make you aware, oh, hang on, he gave 110%. A true Jurgen Klopp heavy metal player, mate. They don't just make them like him. You're dead right. It's a travesty. I absolutely agree, mate. I absolutely agree. And thank you for saying that. He was, as I say, and I think I know people will disagree with this, and honestly, it's not me saying it to jump on the bandwagon because I've loved Jota since he joined the football club. He will go down as one of Liverpool's greatest ever footballers, and I don't mean as in obviously with respect to Jota. I don't mean as in obviously Kenny Dalglish, Mo Salah, Steven Gerrard, because that's probably going a bit too far. But in terms of the impact that he's had on the club, and the trophies he's helped us win, and the really impressive thing about Jota was if you look at how many goals he's got in semi-finals, he had in semi-finals, penalty shootouts, where he's got the winning goal in the league. I mean, his last goal was the Merseyside derby, where if you remember, look, we were always going to win the league, but we'd started to wobble just a little bit because obviously we just lost to Paris Saint-Germain, then we lost the Newcastle the Newcastle League Cup final, and then basically, obviously, we had that 2 week break, and then everyone was kind of like left on the cliffhanger, and then that first half against the Liverpool didn't actually play that well, and then the second half, who comes up front? It was Diogo. I remember when he broke the deadlock at the Emirates as well, in that really tight game, the 2-0 one, which ended up putting us a point behind Man City. So when we were like 15 points behind, Jota's goals basically got us back. So yeah, he would, in terms of the impact he's made on the football club, I mean, just through goals and the way that his goals and assists have led to trophies. I mean, in terms of impact that a player has had statistically, I mean, he'd probably end up being the top 50 or 60 for Liverpool with even all the great players we've had. And obviously, he only had I wouldn't say a short career with us, but obviously he had far less time. And you've got to remember his injuries. If Diogo Jota was not injured as much as he was, and again, it wasn't the man's fault, and I'll be happy to stick my neck out for this, and I'll argue the toss to anyone. I think he scores as many goals as Mo Salah. If he was consistently available, he would have matched Salah's numbers. Maybe not for assists, but definitely for goals. He's the greatest football that wasn't allowed to flourish below. That's why nobody will ever allow to wear the. Yeah, agreed. Who forgets his goal against Spurs 3-3 the 90th minute? 4-3 because of the slot. Yeah, I love that as well. Just sitting Richarlison down, shut up, you idiot. That was absolutely, it was glorious, mate. Literally like that. That's why I've got so I've got like memorials for Jota, and in my Liverpool merch, I've just got this. I should put that somewhere actually where everyone can see. I'll put it up here. Yeah, it's only a random joypad, but obviously that was his thing, wasn't it? So I've always got it there as a little reminder. Yeah, so anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to get off. Just before I go, just to very, very say, what's the hottest pepper you have eaten? I'll say a pass because I can't eat spicy foods because it gives me heartburn. Sorry if that's a boring answer. Just to let you guys know if you're a subscriber or not. Well, if you're a subscriber, you know, if you're a non-subscriber. Right, next Monday, so not this Monday coming, so Monday the 4th, I'm doing something called... Oh, thank you very much, Johnny. Thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, pal. Yeah, thank you very much, but honestly, I do appreciate that. I just tried to do these as look, I'm not a liar. I would like to do this as a job one day. I'm not currently doing it as a job. It's just something I enjoy doing, like spare time. Um, but yeah, these sort of things, I just like chatting with Liverpool fans. I'm not going to be begging for likes and subscribe, but genuinely, thank you very much. I just love talking about my football club, so I don't want to end this on a down note or anything, but Liverpool Football Club have literally, on many occasions, basically saved my life. So, a couple of quick stories. Thank you, mate, thank you. Let's have a look. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Oh, this isn't my wrestling stream. Kartik. However, I don't know if we've spoke before. Yes, I do actually have a wrestling part of Geek Boy Meta as well because I am a massive pro wrestling fan. So if you keep your eyes open and if you have a look on my channel, I've got a whole section called Geek Boy Does Wrestling. Obviously, the section that I'm talking at the moment is Geek Boy Does Liverpool, but I cover all sorts of things because I'm a geek, as the name implies. So comic books, toys, so I go for like toy hunts and stuff. Pro wrestling, Pride. I'm a massive horror movie fan. Love that guy, if you can see him. Yeah, and I also cover wrestling as well. I'm actually, if you keep an eye out, um, I'm actually going to a pro wrestling event tomorrow called UK Pro Rev, which is going to be in Sheffield. So keep an eye on the channel for that. So there'll be like vlogs and shorts of all the wrestling stuff. Also, actually, I suppose while I'm here, now that we've gone on to wrestling for some bizarre reason, I'm actually going to see AEW Forbidden Door in London in a month's time, and 3 days after that in Leeds, because I live in Leeds. I'm going to see WWE Leeds at the First Direct Arena, so there's going to be like shorts and vlogs and this, that, and the other. So yeah, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah, yeah, I like Drew. I think they've already done that for Mania, though, haven't they? I think at some point. Prime Seth Rollins beating up Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose was peak teenage years for me. Yeah, yeah, the chair of betrayal, mate. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe it when that happened. I actually watched that. I watched that one live. I was at one of my mates' houses, and like it was so well done because it was kind of like when Heyman hit Reigns this year. I mean, it was really good. Obviously, it was very well done, but I mean, it was quite obvious if you've been watching wrestling as long as me. Like as soon as Heyman went to get the chair, I was like, yeah, like he's just gonna hit Punk and he's gonna punch Roman Reigns in the unmentionables. Um, but the way Seth did it, I can't believe I'm talking about a wrestling thing on the Liverpool podcast. Yeah, no, the way that Seth did it, mate, it was like he sort of stood there with Ambrose and Reigns, and obviously, I think it was Triple H was on the stairs with Randy, and I don't know if Steph was there, and maybe a couple of other lads. I can't remember who it was. The Authority. But yeah, um, the way that Seth sort of positioned himself, like he kind of looked like he was with them, and you just didn't think he was going to hit them with a chair. And then when he did, I was like, wow, what is going on here? But yeah, yeah. Let's have a look. John Cena defeating Cody Rhodes. So, honestly, if people are clicking in now, they're just going to be like, what, dude? What are you on about? Streak being broken at WrestleMania 25. Yeah. It was hilarious. So I watched that in a pub, and literally the entire. So I went to a boozer in Leeds called Carpe Diem, and literally when the black fella came along and did the facial expression, when Taker lost, honestly, literally the whole pub just fell around laughing. I mean, me and the lads that would literally had to go outside because we were like crying with tears and this, that, and the other. So yeah. Best football stream ever. Oh, thank you very much, Johnny. Cheers. Tribal Chief, head of the table, Roman Reigns. And just to cause a bit more chaos before I leave and wrap up, I'll just throw this out there. Roman Reigns is not as good as CM Punk. Anyway, moving swiftly on before anyone starts shouting at me. So yeah, folks, just to wrap up quickly, what I was saying before was I'm doing something called Red Monday next week. So what I'm going to do, I've got tickets for the first Atletico Bilbao Liverpool match. So it's the one at 5 o'clock because they're playing them twice. So I'm going to the one at 5, not the one at 8 o'clock. So I'm actually going to Liverpool about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, checking into my hotel, and then what I'm going to do there, I'm going to do like a live stadium tour. Not actually in the stadium, obviously, because I would get sued by Mr. Henry and Richard Hughes probably. But yeah, I'll be doing like a live stadium tour. So what I'm going to do, I don't know how well you guys know Anfield. I'm sure you do, but where I forgot the name of the pub. Someone help me. What the hell is it called? Hotel Anfield. So where Hotel Anfield is, sort of the back end of the stadium as you go along, where the bus usually comes in. There's the Mo Salah mural, and there's the Bobby Firmino mural, and just before that there's the Alison Becker one, the John Barnes one. So what I'm proposing on doing is basically I'm going to do a mural tour mixed in with a stadium tour. So I'm just going to go outside the stadium. So I'm going to do that live. I'll get back to the comments in a minute, guys. Yeah. So I'm going to do that live probably about 1 o'clock. That's what I put on the live stream. So like I said, not in the stadium, but I'm just going to take you around the stadium basically. I'm going to do a podcast there because I do. God, I sound like a salesman now. I do a podcast called the Geek Boy Liverpool Story, which I'm going to do like in about 20 minutes actually. So that comes out on 2 o'clock on Monday, so I'm going to do one at Anfield for the following week, if you see what I mean. It's going to be like a season preview. And then after that, obviously, I'm going to do a match day vlog, and I'm going to do shorts of obviously the 20 goals that Liverpool score against Bilbao in the 5 o'clock kickoff, when all the players who are going to play in the first team will obviously be playing in that match. I suspect I'm not going to get Liverpool's first team, but I actually got the tickets for £20, so I am not going to complain at the end of the day. And then what I'll do afterwards, again, not in the stadium, but I'll do like a live reaction. So when I've come out of the stadium, I'll just let you guys know what happened in the match, if there was any funny moments, blah 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 blah. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to come back the next day because I've got 2 days in Liverpool. So I'm going to go to all the murals. So there's loads of Liverpool murals on my channel. So I've got John Barnes, Allison, Mo Salah, Kenny Dalglish, Robbie Fowler, all of them if you want to check it out. Like I said, my channel, it's split up into Geek Boy Does. So Geek Boy Does Wrestling, like you guys were talking about, for example. So the Liverpool one is Geek Boy Does Liverpool. So all the matches I've been to are on there, all the murals, all of me just talking incessantly about Liverpool. Everything's under there basically if you want to check it out. So it's just Geek Boy Does Liverpool. So what I'm going to do with the murals is I'm going to do like a mural vlog, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to try and get as many murals as I can do. I'm also going to try and locate the 2 Diogo Jota murals. And just to say as well, I'm not going to film this because this is a private moment for me because I need to say goodbye to the bloke. I'm going to take a shirt that me and my family have all signed, and basically leave it wherever I can for Diogo with some flowers and just not gonna cry. Just go somewhere, leave him his flowers, leave him his shirt, and just say thank you and goodbye to him. That's kind of why I bought the ticket because it's a bit random, but I need to say goodbye to Diogo basically. So yeah, it's called like I said, it'll be Red Monday. Not this Monday coming, but the Monday afterwards. So keep an eye on the channel, and then there'll be like loads of bonus content, as I'm supposed to say, apparently. Basically, there'll be loads of Liverpool stuff on the channel on the Friday, basically. So not this coming Friday, but the Friday afterwards. If you keep an eye on my channel, basically, I always put alerts and schedules about what I'm doing. So if you go on the live bit of my channel, it should list everything that I've got coming up. So I've got, like I said, for the pro wrestling people, I've got WWE Leeds coming up. I've got AEW All In coming up. I'm going to Sheffield tomorrow to watch Rev Pro, so keep an eye out for that. If you're a comic book nerd person, I'm doing like live streaming from York Comic Con and Leeds Comic Con, and also a horror con in Hull. and I do like live film reviews as well. So the other day, for example, I did Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. Yeah, and I do like live reaction stuff of that as well, and the same thing with wrestling. So yeah. Uh, oh, I hope everyone got that. Sorry, I go a bit hyper sometimes. I do apologise. Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I'm just going to read these comments at the end. I suspect a lot of them are all wrestling. Let me have a look. Same. Johnny, do you like Marvel or DC, by the way? Have you seen Superman? Yeah, well, I've just mentioned Johnny, yes. So, I saw Fantastic Four the other night, on Thursday, and I saw Superman 2 weeks ago, I think. I think for me, I don't know, it's difficult because I really like both of them, mate. For me, I'd say Superman was just like a half a point better for me personally. I thought Superman was fantastic. I thought it was 9 out of 10. We've gone from wrestling to Superman now. Yeah, no, I thought Superman was fantastic. I thought David Cornsweet was outstanding. I thought really impressed with Lex Luthor. I thought I've forgotten his bloody name. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner was brilliant. The lantern hand gestures he was making, which obviously I can't do on a live stream, but I'm sure you know if you've seen the film, were astonishingly hilarious. I thought Mr. Terrific was really good actually, and Lois Lane. Fantastic Four, I really liked. I'd probably give it an 8.5. It lost me for about 10 minutes. In case that some of you guys haven't seen F4, I won't say, but there's a bit halfway through where the Fantastic Four are not very popular, so I'll just leave it at that. And it lost me for a little bit for about 5 or 6 minutes, due to one of the things that happened, but the rest of it was fantastic. Like I said, the one thing I will say is I've been waiting to see Galactus on screen since 1984, basically. So I won't spoil it for anyone if you are a comic book fan who is also a Liverpool fan. But yeah, you will be very pleased if you like Galactus, basically. Let me just have a quick look at the comments. Roman Reigns Jericho versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed predictions. Oh, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso go over. There's no chance Bronson and Bron win that match. Absolutely no chance whatsoever. I just can't see them bringing Roman back in one of his few appearances he has, because I mean Roman's got, I think he's contracted for about 20, 25 appearances a year, 30 or something like that. So no, I can't imagine they'd waste it, to be honest. But well, I was actually really hoping to get Bron Breakker versus Roman. I mean, I still am not ruling out that Seth Rollins thing is a work. I honestly don't think it's a work, mate, at all, because he does look legit injured. But I've watched pro wrestling for like 35 years, and nothing honestly surprises me anymore. Let me have a look. Hulk Hogan, yeah, obviously Carter. I'll be diplomatic. How do I put this? I send my sympathy out to Hulk Hogan's family, and obviously, I'm very sorry that he's died, because I like to think I'm a decent bloke, and I don't wish death on any human being at the end of the day. I wasn't thrilled with the comments he made on a certain video for obvious reasons as a black man. But now is the time not to talk. It's not time to talk about that, because I'm trying to show respect. At the end of the day, you've got to show respect, because a human being has actually died at the end of the day. As I say, I wasn't thrilled with what he said, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Not sure if this is a question you can answer, but do you know a good alternative to the Nintendo Switch? Dude, I used to be a gamer many years ago, but my knowledge of video games stopped at Streets of Rage 2, Street Fighter 2, and Sonic 2 in the golden year of 1992. And I have barely played the video game since, and I cannot even work I can't even work the bloody controllers anymore. So I have a 10-year-old son who has to explain to his 45-year-old dad how to play video games, and he gets very annoyed with his dad and calls me an idiot, and quite rightly so, because like, you know, when you're playing FIFA, the guys who are younger and girls who are watching this will know better than me. Um, when you're trying to do like a, I don't know, like curl a crossing or something, you've got to do a combination of buttons. I've literally got my son going, Dad, it's that one. And I'm like, I haven't got a clue. I've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing, to be honest. So he just walks off and he's just like, "Oh, Dad, you suck." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I know. I really do suck." So yeah, I'm sure that didn't help you, F Torre, but yeah, sorry about that. Steam Deck. Have you read the Flashpoint Paradox? Yes. I can't turn the phone at the minute, Johnny, because my phone will fall off the stand because my stand I'm recording on this is actually broken. Don't ask. It involved alcohol. Anyway, to my left, I've got. In fact, I tell you what, I'll try and hold on to it. See that? So yeah, I'll get you a bit closer in, mate. Those are all my graphic novels. And under here, I can't show you too much because I've got all these canvas paintings, but literally, I don't know if you could see it. Flashpoint is somewhere buried in there, and I've got a load of wrestling videos as well. Basically, I've got something in the region, I would imagine, of at least 500. Great. Let me try and sit down. Oh, dear. Really professional setup this is, folks. Yeah, no, basically, Johnny, I've got, I would imagine, at least 500 graphic novels. And in terms of single issues, because I've been collecting since 1987. Yes, that's how old I am. Just ignore that. I've been collecting single issues since 1987. So I had the original Transformers, as in the ones that were written in the UK. I think it was, I forget who the gentleman said. Simon, I forget who the right was. But basically, long story short, I've got 250 of the original Transformers comics from 1987 to 91, I think is when they stopped printing it. And also, I've got, I'd say in total, I've probably got getting on for 1,000 single issues. Now, I haven't been collecting comics as much, because I've ended up being a toy collector. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, I will end this live stream in a minute, but I'm actually quite enjoying this, to be honest. For Johnny and the other geeks, I'm also covering San Diego Comic Con. So I'm actually going to watch that now. So basically, being really, really sad. You know those walkthroughs they do on YouTube where you've got a bunch of lads and lasses who live stream the Comic Con events? Like, I love all that, basically, and I will happily sit there, and my wife, Mrs., it drives her up the wall because I will literally sit there and stare at the live stream of a bloke going around with his selfie stick, going to all the Comic Con booths and stuff, and I will literally happily sit there for 5 or 6 hours, and my missus will eventually just throw her hands up in the air and go to bed, and I'll just carry on watching till 2 o'clock in the morning. I ended up watching Comic Con last night till, what time was it? About, I think it was 4:30 in the morning. I got went to bed, give or take, and I had to get up to look after my lads. So I've had about 3 hours sleep, hence why I'm slightly hyper. Yeah, so I'll be covering bits and pieces from San Diego Comic Con as well. So that'll end up in Geek Boy Does Comic Cons, which is where all the Comic Con content that I've got. So the Comic Cons that I've gone to, like York and Leeds and Barnsley and Doncaster, and there's some bits and pieces from London and places like Forbidden Planet. All that content's there. So I'll post any updates in there, so it should just come up on the channel if you end up subscribing. Yeah, I've gone down a path again, haven't I? Why was I telling you about that for? Oh yeah, so yeah, Comic Con. So there's been, funnily enough, actually, seeing as we're just mixing genres now, CM Punk was actually at Comic Con the other day, and he was talking about Cena and stuff. So I did a short about that. I did a short this morning about the fact that Jason Voorhees is coming back in the Jason universe, and they had a panel last night for Friday the 13th and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be covering that as well. So yeah. Oh yeah. That post credit scene. I think I don't think it was, just in case it's a spoiler thing. I don't think it's the person that we all think it is. I have a random theory on it. Oh, I might as well say it actually. Right. If anyone's watching the stream who has not seen Fantastic Four, I'm going to give you literally 10 seconds. Right. Anyone who's not seen Fantastic Four, please leave the channel. Good, excellent, nice one. So yeah, that end credit scene with Doom, mate. Honestly, I don't think that. Oh, thank you, Johnny, as well for that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got a cool collection. I like to think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, the Transformers. Yeah, that. So they're in like. I mean, a lot of them are dog bitten, obviously, because I've had them when I was a kid, and I used to do stupid things like write him and cut bits out of them and this, that, and the other. But the ones that are actually okay are like sealed. So I've got them somewhere there in a box. I have basically where I am. So the bit behind me, all my Funkos are there. I've got Star Wars, I've got WWE, etc., etc. But underneath all the canvas pictures, I've basically got loads of box of like vintage comic books, vintage toys, and etc., etc. But the bad thing about being a collector is, unless you really keep on the ball, you sometimes forget where your collections are. Basically, so they're somewhere in this room. But yeah, just to finish the Doom thing, I don't think that's downing. I can't give you a reason why. It's just a random feeling that I've got. Obviously, it can't be Julian McMahon unless he had shot scenes for it several months before, obviously, his unfortunate passing. Rest in peace to Doctor Doom as well. Um, I think it's a multiverse version of Doom. I either think it's going to be a multiverse version of Doom. I don't think it's Tony Kebbell from that god awful Fantastic Four that we had a few years ago, although that would be quite hilarious actually in terms of trolling. Or your third option is, and this is the daft one, but it's, I know it does look like Doctor Doom, but it could randomly be some bloke with a green cloak. I can't see that being the case because for a start off, people were like, "Well, dude, why on earth did you dress him like Doctor Doom for? That's really weird." And secondly, most people, quite rightly so, will be like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever." So I don't think it's that option. I'm going for, I reckon it's a multiverse version of Doctor Doom, and I can't think of an actor yet, but let's say I'm looking at the movie posters at the minute. Who it could be? Let me have a look. Tell you what, let's say it's CM Punk. No, not really. No, I can't think of anyone at the minute, but I think it's a multiverse Doctor Doom. Like I said, I could be wrong, and it's based on absolutely nothing other than a gut feeling. But yeah, we shall have to wait and see. Right, folks. Anyway, I have to get off. So thank you everyone, including Johnny. Thank you very much, mate, for subscribing. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, mate. Trey, obviously, if you're still watching, thank you very much again to yourself and everyone else that's contributed. I really enjoy doing these shows, so thank you very much. I'll just read quickly before I go. I personally think that Iron Man, Snap, and Loki owning the multiverse will create Tony Stark. Doom, as Kang talked about a war being as he was scared, so he made sure they didn't. Interesting. Ah. That is interesting, Johnny. I'm not even thought of that, to be honest. By doing that, he made sure that Tony was Iron Man. Not. Oh, I might see you on a live stream then, Johnny, in about half an hour because I might actually go back on and talk about. That's just completely. That's a good one, mate. That is a good one. But yeah, cheers, Johnny. Cheers, Trey, and thanks everyone for watching today. Honestly, you've been class. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to speak to all of you. And like I said, Liverpool wise, just keep an eye out for me next Monday, and just keep an eye out on the channel. I'll be doing all sorts of stuff the next week. Oh, also very quickly before I go, the 2 days before I go to Liverpool, I'm watching both nights off SummerSlam, and I'm hilariously going out with the lads in Leeds on Sunday to watch SummerSlam the night before I come to Liverpool. So If you end up sitting next to me at Anfield, I really, really apologise, because I might not be compos mentis. Anyway, cool, nice one. What's your channel called? Oh, yeah, Johnny. So I've got it's me being an old man not explaining it very correctly. So my channel's Geek Boy Meta. I think it's Geek Boy Meta 7381. So it's just the one channel. It's playlists, not channels. That's what I meant to say. So I've got playlists, and they're basically split into Geek Boy does. So it's Geek Boy does horror, Geek Boy does Pride, Geek Boy does Liverpool, Geek Boy does football stadiums or football, I forget which. Because also as well, randomly I'm a Ghana fan. Um, I am English, but Ghana's like my second country, so I am like Ghanaian. So there's like, if there's any Ghanaian fans on this stream for some bizarre reason, I also do that as well. And then Geek Boy does obviously wrestling. I've got 3 podcasts that I aim to do once a week. So I do Geek Boy, a movie story, a Liverpool story, and a film story. The wrestling one comes out after Monday Night Raw, although I have started now doing that as a live stream. So I basically am now covering Raw live after it happens. Sometimes I don't always, because obviously in the UK, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and like I have to go to work and this, that, and the other. So I leave myself with like 2 hours sleep. So sometimes it's not always live. I also do an AEW Dynamite wrap up as well, which is on the Thursday morning. So I try and do that early as I can do, like 7 or 8 in the morning, a couple of hours after the show's finished. But yeah, just in general, I do something every single day on this channel. Like the other day was insane because the Friday I went to go see Fantastic Four, but then I heard the news about oh yeah, that was so I did an AEW Dynamite show. Then I went to take my son to McDonald's. Then he looked at my phone and said, "Dad, there's news about Alexander Isak." So then I had to go and do a load of shorts. Then I had to put my son on Minecraft for 40 minutes while I went upstairs to do a line stream about Isak. Then I realised I was running late for Fantastic Four, so I ran down the road to Cineworld in Leeds. Then I got all these alerts about Hulk Hogan, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So basically, then I had that. Then I watched the Fantastic Four, tried to make notes for that so I could do my podcast. Then I thought to myself, well, I need to do the Hulk Hogan thing because obviously he was an icon in wrestling and stuff, whatever you think of him. So then I did a live stream for that nearly ran into the live stream that I was meant to do for the Fantastic Four. Then I finished that at about midnight, and then I ended up watching San Diego Comic Con. It was a very long day, very fun day though. Oh yeah, Inaki Williams. Yeah. I'm just yeah, he's very, very good. I just hope Ghana can get to the World Cup. It would be really, really cool if they could do as a Ghanaian, because I've loved Ghana being there. It's been absolutely fantastic seeing him. Busy man, yeah. Thank you, Johnny. Like I said, mate, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much for watching, mate. Absolute class. Cheers. Right, folks, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all a little bit later for San Diego Comic Con, hopefully. See you later, Red. Bye-bye.